Sports, raw, bold, and unapologetic.
And we back like we never left. Episode 7. I'm your host, D. Drop here with that boy, Jammin. Jammin, what's good with your family? How you feel?
Well, I'm feeling blessed, black, and highly favored, bro. Uh,
Type shit.
just got back from the ATL. You know, it's my little brother's birthday. Shoot, we had a good time, and now it's back to the grind.
I feel you. I feel you. Man, I went to an all-white party. Shout out to my boy, homeboy, Ro. Always store be in the area, man. And I'm telling you, just like any of his other events, they always a time. I had a great time. I was out looking like a Hebrew Israelite. I definitely was enjoying the vibes, man. It was a good weekend, man. And we got a lot to talk about in this sports world, but before we get too far into this, make sure that y'all hit that notification button. Y'all are here with us on Unfiltered and On Ball. If you're on TikTok, make sure you're on YouTube. Make sure y'all are hitting that subscribe, hit that notification, and share. And we are on Twitch. We are all across all your major social media platforms up today. So this we usually record before, but we're gonna go back live. So make sure y'all getting these comments, man, and hit us up and let's top it up. We got to talk about. We're gonna talk about NBA Finals. Can Wemby stop these boys from getting swept? And we also going to talk about AJ Brown and the deep reason why he was traded, or we can just speculate. And also we're going to Capitol Hill, talking about the NIL and why this needs to have some kind of buffer or something put on this, man. I was just video earlier scrolling, and I seen this right here, Jim. And tell me what you think about my boy, his recovery right here.
There you go. There you go on the low catch. Yeah, right. No. There you go. There you go on the low catch.
Oh, that's Tyreek Hill. This has been confirmed that this is recent. This is recent, and he's coming back off of injury. My man's look like he's not Tyreek Hill in his rehab so far.
Man, he looking like the Tyreek Hill of old. Like, man, he's shaking me out my boots right now. The fact that he's coming out of the injury, yay. The fact he's recovering like that right now, and he's looking that good after that gruesome injury, man, I wonder who's going to pick him up. Because whoever going to get him is going to get a dog.
I'm telling you, man, because I'll tell you, like at 85% of than most people's 100%. If I'm be real, him come faster than most people, a lot of people in the NFL. So I think, whatever you get, I think you make a good recovery. And the looks of dude, my man's is still cutting like a razor blade. So how things pan out and what comes to what opportunities. You had also talked to me about recent I was talking about Ayuk earlier, offline. Off the air. What's going on with him? You said he had a
Yeah, he had posted a video on Instagram talking about yeah, y'all acting scared. Y'all acting like some little kittens, some little cats. Y'all acting like some female dogs. Y'all scared for that belt to butt. That I'm like, and this the way he was talking, it's like, he's talking about y'all know I'm good at football. Y'all just scared. And I'm like, and then he even posted a video of him speeding by the stadium, and you can see the speedometer on in the video. You can see no hands on the wheel. You can see it, and that's what prompted an arrest warrant for him. Is that he posted his own crime? Like I think dude's unhinged. Like I don't know. It sounds like he needs some help, bro.
yeah, and here goes. I don't realize when you have injuries that tend to take you out. People cover it from the denial, they go through the stress, they go through the anger, they go through the depression. Because he has hit a area where I don't know if he coming out. Is giving AJ Brown without the birthing. That's what it's giving. You know
Very
what I'm
much
saying?
so.
Look, we understand why AB is. Not only the fact that shout out to my Florida people, but Florida people come away. On top of that, when you get that effect, yeah, this is the results that you get. A couple of loose screws with AB. But like, what got going on, bro? Like, and I don't think his season hasn't had a career to where to look antics off the field. Do you think he's doing to try to? And if so, is this hindering him going to other teams?
Yeah, well, he might be doing it to get out the contract, but the things that he's doing, like we've seen points to where you do things to try and get out of contract, but you don't go as far as null and voiding the contract that you have, meaning you get no money at all. That's where they're at right now. I
Right.
think during the season they voided his entire contract, so he gets no pay because they voided it with cause, and it's just like, bro, like if I want out of a contract, I'm going to want out of a contract with money in my pocket.
Right.
Like you just signed, a multi-million-dollar deal, and you just let that go. Like you only have a certain amount of time to make this type of money. NFL players will tell you all the time. NBA players, professionals, athletes will tell you you only have a certain amount of time to make this kind of money. Because more times than not, you're not going to be able to make that money. Can't everybody be a Michael Jordan or Tom Brady or LeBron James? Like, can't people be like that? So I mean, I just think he's going through something.
He got to be going through something. Man, to think he hasn't had what he had 2 seasons. He had 2 like certified seasons for sure. What is like you can't act like this, bro. Like we said, and again, we seen the hits that cause AB to act like that. I just don't know if you what his goals are. Some other news was Texas Tech. Recently, a judge has approved him this season, and I think his punishment is to have to sit out 2 games. It clearly states the NCAA says you cannot get him labeled. He has over 900 hour. What is it? 900 bets. It was crazy, and he betted on his team. This is clear violation. He was not supposed to, but what this shows is that you still have a situation. They have continued to fold every time that it's supposed to be to fold. What's your thoughts about Sorsby being able to play?
I think it's ruining college football. I think it's ruining college sports. He made $90,000 worth of bets, including with his own team, which was the 2022 Indiana Hoosiers, where he was a freshman. But I mean,
Mhm.
he wasn't a impact player at that time because he was a freshman. But at the same time, you're on the team. You know the ins and outs. You know what's going on. The fact that you can make these type of bets, where there has been players throughout history getting banned from their sport for a lifetime, and the fact that you still get to play the sport that you literally took for granted. Um, and it's also the fact that what people are not discussing is that the NCAA didn't allow him. They denied him a local, mind you, local. That's key word. Local Texas judge voted for him to be eligible, which means you don't know if this judge has any ties to the program or ties to college football. Could be a donor, could be it could be a conflict of interest, but that's just alleged. I'm not saying that it's true. It's just when you go through the local systems, you know how college football is in this country, especially in Texas. You know, people would turn a blind eye to certain things if it means bringing good football to where you're at.
And you said it, man. It's ruining football. I think where we have a problem is that college football should be similar and have a similar structure as the NFL. You start developing at that level to go to the NFL. But we can take Ridley, who went through a similar situation, got caught betting, and literally, and if we being real, his career still hasn't been the same since he left and he was out when he was with the Falcons. Now, that you have a person who has, excuse me, the timeline is crazy. A Lubbock judge, a judge in the town, and rule and say no, he can play. This is how you had with Chambliss, the quarterback from Ole Miss, who was granted the extra year. This is the same that you've had with players. You're starting to have issues where you have players who are in their late 20s, almost 30 years old, get ninth
Mhm.
years to be able to play. And all these judges, at some point in time, and we're going to talk about the NIL because Nick Saban was like that. Kind of goes back to what we were talking about, where you're starting to get politics involved, and it's to a point where maybe it needs to be involved because you're going to have to start getting right. It isn't this much freedom in the NFL. So we'll talk a little bit about this similar situation, but you also were talking about
Yeah. Tom Brady has reportedly have a new coconut water out called Good Nut. The slogan for this Good Nut coconut drink is a delicious mouthful. Yum yum. y'all get it in y'all locals
What you
markets.
want?
y'all get Tom Brady's good nut in your local market. I guarantee you it's straight from the tap.
Pause. Pause. Hey,
Hey, I don't want no good nut. I'm cool.
hey, yum, get you
Y'all can have the
some.
good nut. Yeah.
Get you some. All right, man. So we got
Pause.
NBA, man. We got game 3. We got Spurs Knicks. Right now it's 2. I'm eating crow right now. I already done been approached by a couple of people saying, "Hey, you you owe me money. I didn't tell you to bet. All right, because I damn sure didn't bet.
Yep.
But did you think that right now 2-0, the way the Knicks are playing, did you expect this, or are you kind of shocked?
I'm highly shocked. Like I think the whole world is shocked at this point. Not even gonna lie. Because nobody saw the New York Knickerbockers to get to this point to where they're dominating a Victor Wembanyama led team. Yes, and I said their original name, the Knickerbockers.
Knickerbockers is crazy.
Hey, people nowadays don't know their name. Yeah, I'm old school. See, their name is the New York Knickerbockers. That's their real name. They they shorten it because it it kind of sounds a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, nobody seen this shit coming. Especially the way that they're playing, the way Carl Anthony Towns is playing, and how Jalen Brunson is really putting his team on his back. And there's some comparisons where they're saying he's up there with the likes of like a Dwayne Wade as far as like leading a team to promised land.
We're gonna let y'all know this because we just
I
talked
didn't
about
say
this
that.
last week. We just talked about this last week, and obviously pump breaks. He's having a good series. I want to be honest. I'm more impressed by Watts. In my personal opinion, is the one that's having a damn good game because the thing was, what is he gonna do? Can he guard Wemby? Now it's a team. They a lot of thing about Cat. Cat is athletic enough. Cat is keeping them out that paint, and Cat is keeping that black man is rolling out that. Cat is taking that man to the hole regularly. Do you hear me? What is that I was talking to somebody about was we forget that Cat's been in the league for 10 to 11 years. He's got 10 to 11 seasons under his belt. He's got veteran experience. So even with some of us talking about how soft Cat is, his antics are soft, but the thing is, he's battle tested. And that's where we can't forget. Even though we love the way Wemby plays, Wemby is going to be a freak. You're talking about a guy who's in his 3rd season, technically really 2 seasons because he missed a majority of 1 season. It's a different type of thing when you have been in these playoffs. And the thing is, Cat has been in these playoffs when he played with the Timberwolves. He's had experience. We also remember when Cat was on a great run when he was with the Kentucky Wildcats back in college. I think that I'm thoroughly impressed with what Cat is doing. Brunson, we know Brunson gonna get a bucket. Now, what I have a question is, do you feel like the Spurs are being out coached right now? Because we have not seen a change up to the lineup. I feel like that they're undersized because Cat is a matchup problem. You got Cornette. He only played 10 minutes in game 2. You need a bigger lineup. I've seen where in past times some teams that go with a big lineup to counterbalance to try to at least change it up, maybe have start the game instead of come off the bench. Do you feel like when it is in just saying fuck it, Man, do you feel like they're being out coached?
I wouldn't necessarily say so. I think it's more part of the game plan, but they do need to switch up some things. I feel like the game plan is, to have a smaller forwards on the court because that opens up the court space for them. Because you have Wembenyama at 7'4", you got him at the 5. You got, I mean, he can take up that whole space just by off his length by itself, and that leaves all the attention to him, and he could just pass out the rock to everybody in the perimeter, or to get their own bucket. But I will say, like, when it comes to their bigs, I don't think they have enough bigs to where it matters, I guess, in a sense. So
Right.
you're saying you need to get bigger, but they don't have anybody bigger besides Luke Cornett, and he's more of a he's not your bigger guy. He's tall, yes, but he's not a big guy like that. And honestly, like outside of Wembenyama and Cam and Luke, they got Harrison Barnes, but Harrison Barnes is more of a 3 than a 4, but he might need to get some more minutes because he is an NBA. I believe he's an NBA champion. He has that
I want to say
hardwood, so he knows.
he wanted with Golden State, right?
Yeah, the Warriors. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I would say, like, he would be the one I would try and turn to, but he's also, he hasn't been playing the last couple years. For real, for real. So I don't know.
Like
They do need some more big help though.
they need some more big because they're getting bodied. And that's what they're getting bodied. Champagny, dude is playing lights out. He's actually Castle is doing. If I have to say right now in this series, Champagny and ones who's kind of in the team right now. What are your thoughts? Who's winning this game tonight?
I'm gonna go with the Spurs. I feel like they're not just gonna get swept. They can't. Ain't no way. I don't think they would just allow that. But we also have to put into consideration that the Knicks have only lost 2 games in the entire playoffs, which is crazy to think that the team that did it was the Atlanta Hawks of all teams. So it might be the fact that the Hawks might be a team to watch next season. So I don't. Yeah, I don't see the Knicks going to win this game, but I mean, I got to put in consideration they're on a winning streak.
The church party, I was looking at a lot of highlights from the game and just going back over that game too. It's going up by 10 points, 12 points. It's not like they have a bad scoring game, but they're really just getting out muscle. And the thing is, constantly stay with Brunson. And when Brunson is not scoring, Cat is scoring. And it was Shaman. He's coming off the bench. He's filling in these players. They're playing the thing. I mean, it seems like what's interesting to me is the way that the Spurs played in the last series against OKC. Their role and they played it well. When we was looking at the way Vassell was playing, the way Castle was playing, Champ was shooting the ball, and it opened up and let Wemby be able to do what he needed to do. Look at the way the Spurs are playing, it looks almost chaotic because the Knicks are putting so much pressure on them. And and where the role players are taking care of their job, and it's opening it up for Brunson. Uh, I'm going to go with the Spurs tonight, but I'll not be surprised if the Knicks win tonight. I think the team has. I don't know if the Spurs have enough to stop because they go up point leads. So the defense has to clamp down, man. They got to clamp down. I don't know if that's right now to keep Cat. Like you said, I don't know if they're big enough to be battle. As far as just the depth. And I think that's what's showing is the fact that they have a deep business coming off the bench and filling it up as far as off the bench. We was going to transition over into talking about the whole AJ Brown trade situation. Recently, AJ Brown was traded to the New England Patriots. For a lot of us who are in the sports world, this was not a shock. The rumors that came out, it was a lot of scandal with Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini, who this story really led regarding AJ Brown possibly being traded to the New England Patriots. Well, here goes the kicker. Shocking. Some more drama. It came out that the reasons why AJ Brown was wanting his trade and went on in the locker room in Philadelphia was that supposedly they sharing the same size that Hassan Reddick was sharing. In the words of R. Kelly and Usher, same girl. So AJ Brown goes to his best friend, Jalen Hurts, and says, Jalen, you know that, hey, bro, he need to quit talking to the gal, my side piece. Individuals have wives and fiancés. This one who's the side mistress is one of their masseuse therapists. So AJ Brown got upset because Jalen Hurts wouldn't address the situation. And his response was, I'm focused on winning a Super Bowl. What are your thoughts about all this? The bold and the beautiful of the NFL.
Bruh, my thing is, you can't sit there and just let a woman that is not even your woman mess up what you have going on. You mad over a side piece that's not even your main squeeze. And first of all, you said they're both married too. Didn't we just talk? Didn't we just get through this?
Yeah.
Yo, love y'all's wives.
Yeah.
Like, love your wives. Stay with your wives. Don't cheat. Like, that's first and foremost. And you're trying to win the championship. That is the main focus. So I'm with Jalen. Like, yo, I ain't worried about y'all BS right now. Like, I'm worried about winning the championship. Y'all got y'all mind in the wrong place. I see nothing wrong with that at all.
Is AJ Brown a diva?
Oh yeah, he's Terrell Owens without the freaking workout bench in the middle of the driveway.
Yeah. 100%.
He's the great value version of Terrell Owens. Terrell I think is how he pronounced it. But still, yeah. Like, nah, AJ I'm glad he is happy to where at the place where he is at, and he gets everything that he has wished for. But boy, man, if I was an Eagles fan, I just be like, thank you.
Well, the thing was, even as a Titans fan, it was still the same situations, and he was under Vrabel. Um, and his agent was not making it any better within Howie. Um, but the thing is it goes back to West's company. You have a coach that is involved in scandals. Then you have your player who's involved in scandals. It was a insider who was involved in an entanglement that broke the story. Now you have this individual going up to an organization that has been involved in scandals for decades.
Literally. Eh.
Spygate, Deflategate, Freakgate. I mean, I and me personally, I think Tom Brady a vampire. So that's another scandal. So the thing is, man, the whole situation is and don't forget, let's not forget about Kraft down there getting rubbed down on, getting his liver massaged out. So the thing is, bro, like this whole organization is a a problem. AJ Brown, even as a Titans fan, when AJ Brown was here, I thought he was a great player, but he had tendencies to be distracted. I think injuries, him wanting some of his, we traded him for, didn't even recuperate what we traded him for. He went somewhere, and you would think, okay, you're with your favorite quarterback, you're with your best friend, you're with the organization that's making Super Bowl runs. You win a Super Bowl, and you not happy because you're sitting up here sliding and getting his back rubbed out the same way you getting your back rubbed out by the same gal, and you mad. Don't understand how you can lose your focus. The goal was to win Super Bowls, become one of the best. But you out here worried about, at least Terrell didn't have that issue. He didn't have high pieces. He was a problem. Camera on him. He had antics.
Hmm.
But when you look at AJ, I mean, is it any better? He's a distraction on and off the field.
Yeah, but I just don't understand how I don't understand how you let a side piece distract you. But then again, it's like it's women. It's hard sometimes to stay focused when you got a beautiful woman by your side, or I guess on both sides. In his case, I don't know, but ah, that's just that's weird. That's weird to me.
You need to have a good supporting
Love
cast.
your people.
Yeah, and have a good
Uh,
supporting cast. If you have, because some people tend to want to be a leader. Some people tend to be. If you not getting that re-encouragement or getting that encouragement from your guys, at least have who are going to tell you like, "Hey, bro, get your shit together, dog. You losing it."
yep.
And the thing was, and and he's upset about that. So now, who seems that he's in his bag of emotions, going somewhere else. Vrabel save him again. Do you think that he's gonna have a in New England?
I think so. Actually, I think he'll be all right because Drake means a dog. I think they'll be all right as long as Mike Vrabel's extracurricular activities, along with AJ Brown's extracurricular activities, doesn't get in the way of the football. I think they'll be okay. But it's a lot of distractions going on in I'm about to say Philadelphia, but in New England. But they both got some distractions going on. So who knows if the Eagles are gonna be, you know, Super Bowl contenders either, because they got distractions galore, because you don't know what they're gonna do with Devontae Smith. How is he gonna be as number one? You don't know how Jalen Hurts gonna be with a new offense. And then with the Patriots, you don't know if Mike Vrabel's going to stand the test of all the stress he's going to be under this season with all the stuff he has going on. And AJ Brown, when he wanted to leave a team that was, a perennial Super Bowl contender, and putting out fake stories online, or not fake stories, putting out real stories that happens in your locker room, like
Crazy work.
like
Crazy work.
So
And
it's
that's the
like,
thing. So, what's to say that they ain't gonna be a distraction when he goes to New England?
exactly.
That's the thing. And you already have a situation going on right now where they trying to do damage control. So, and really, when you look at that team, who is the leader? Brandon Graham, the defensive tackle for the Philadelphia period, he's kind of like the leader, and he was having to address these situations. Now, when you look at another team, who is your nucleus? Who is your leader? How are they going to receive this situation? You gotta look, man, my head coach, who you think that you would lean on to make sure that track is not even the person that you might be able to lean on right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just confused. It might work. I mean, the thing is, you can't take away what AJ Brown is in the receiving core. The receiving core is nice. They're bringing back players. This could be a team, but it all depends on if they can keep their damn head on straight. It's but you just add a player that's a distraction to a team that's a distraction. It's anybody's conference. That side of the ball is anybody's ball. It's nobody in the AFC. Oh, yeah, you got to beat. Kansas City is still going to be suspect. You're talking about a Patrick Mahomes. It might be. You're talking about the Denver Broncos team that did not play up to the standard that they were supposed to. That was underwhelming. You're talking about a Ravens team that always has the questions of being healthy. It's a wide open league, and if we talking about you have a chance to go back and repeat, but on escapades and goddamn dipping his wick somewhere, and you know what I'm saying, you got to take a player that's out here on the same type of time, bro. What is we on? It can't say nothing. Your owner can't sign that get happy endings in Tampa Bay too. No,
Man, that whole team something else, bro.
man, it's wild work with them, man. Speaking of football, and being about NIL, just recently, Nick Saban has campaigned on some kind of restrictions and guidelines being the NIL, and especially as college sports period, but his super focus is with college football. Man, he was recently talking about a protect college sport, basically saying that this is like a Ferrari. You're gonna 150 miles have basically saying that right now, with the way things are going, it's no way that this can be upheld. I recently was looking at, and I want to say it's almost 19 teams that technically are in the NIL, and these are just college football teams. Maryland is one of them. But they're working on that. But Saban talked about basically it's just arms race. First year with the NIL was 2.7 million in the first year, 7 million then wired. Now he said it's all the way up to $40 million that people are paying. What are your thoughts about as and we just had that episode regarding politics, but this is coming from a different perspective. What are your thoughts about it? Into the political side to try to get some kind of rein put on this.
Uh, I feel like he was right all along. Like everybody used to call him a hater. Everybody used to be like, "No, Nick Saban, he just wants to win championships all the time." No, if you really think about it, it's a real issue. If you don't put any sanctions on it, if you don't put any restrictions, it's just gonna keep on going up and up and up until it's gonna be like, well, damn, we can't afford this. Like we gotta drop this down to something. Like, what if the NFL didn't have a salary cap? What if they could just spend whatever they wanted? You would only have maybe two, three, four teams that's gonna be good because they got the money. They could just spend whatever the hell they want, and then you won't have no competition throughout the league.
Right.
That's how the NIL is gonna be. Like you only gonna have so much money, and then you have these big schools. You have your Alabamas, you have your Ohio States, your Michigans, your Floridas or whatever. I can go on and on, but you have these big schools that can, pretty much Texas. These big schools and all money schools where you could just throw as much money into there as possible, where it's like, okay, no issue at all. But what about the schools like a Tulane? What about the schools like a Cal, Maryland, um Oklahoma? I guess the smaller schools that don't have that necessary like oil money or necessary money that's coming from the government. What happens to them? They're going to fall on the wayside. They're going to go into bankruptcy. They're going to, become defunct, or however what the word is. Like it's gotta be equal throughout the whole playing field, and that's not where we're at right now.
No, we're not there. And to me, you're trying to call the police on the police. And understand when I say this, we just talked about at the beginning of this episode that Sorsby got the eligibility to play and only has to sit out 2 games. He was granted this by a Lubbock judge. You're asking, but you're going and the influence was due to the fact money. That judge probably was told by a lot of rich individuals who had a heavy influence or a heavy investment into that Texas Tech team. Same thing with Chambliss down there at Ole Miss. You're calling these people. The thing is, these individuals are reaping the benefits. It worked when you weren't paying these athletes. I was one who was not, but with a lot of things, it's always the overcorrect. You overcorrect it, and now you have no guidelines and no stipulations. You have to get anything, it has to be commissioner. And no, Nick Saban does not need to be commissioner because I'm gonna tell you something. He's too many ties. But you need to get a structure that is very similar to the NFL, and you have to implement the NCAA. I mean, the NCAA is running rampant. It is not running around with scissors right now. It has no guidelines in the reason is because when people acting like, oh, well, I can just get rich off of it. So now you have, like you said, these people, these tycoons and these Silicon Valley people who are going out here who it's not going straight through the school, it's third party. So now when you talk about this 19 years old who's getting paid $10 million, or this player who's transferring schools because they get paid, that it's broke. Well, we gotta do something about it. I will do something about it, but the whole time they don't care about much benefits. It's like being mad at a child who's supposed to be disciplined, who's not disciplining the kid, and that's what you have right now. And they're not going to. And I don't know where it's going to get resolved, because every time the NCAA put their foot down and tries to push back, what happens? You have a that undermines and undercuts the system. So know what can be done. I definitely want to. I know we're gonna come back and probably talk about. I didn't want to get too far into it, but this is gonna be an interesting situation in the next couple of years, because it's out of control right now. I mean, you got rosters, bro.
Yeah.
Texas, like that's what I'm saying. Texas Tech just all of a sudden now they can just buy whoever they want to, and what because the money that's going through there.
It's the oil money, bro.
Come on,
Texas got them oil rigs all over the place.
You know, now that the stakes are high and it's high expectations for Texas Tech, all of a sudden the quarterback who's not even supposed to be NFL, and you said this on the episode not too long ago, Jimmy, that if Florida is like, it would be hard for him to be able to get picked up by an NFL team just due to that. It's going to be questioned, going to be concern, personality concerns. But now it looks like if he goes out here and has a good season, it's just. But you had a Calvin Ridley who had to sit out for seasons.
I was just about to say that Calvin Ridley had to sit out a whole season because of the same issue. And I don't think Calvin Ridley, he didn't bet nowhere near as much as Sorsby did. I think he only bet a few times. And I don't think it wasn't even for his team or everything. What Sorsby did was worse than Calvin Ridley. If Sorsby was in the NFL, he would be banned. He would be banned. It wouldn't be a year. It wouldn't be 2 years.
No.
He'll be done.
Yeah.
He'll be done. Just say he a rookie and he places a bet on his team, he's done with.
Barbecue
no excuses.
Chicken. Barbecue chicken.
Swiss cheese.
Man, type shit. Man, we're gonna wrap this episode up, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in with us. Again, the Spurs tonight, Jimmy.
Yeah, I got the Spurs tonight.
It's gonna send the Spurs. We're gonna send it. Do not go bet on this. Hey, that's on you. Hey, just remind y'all, make sure that y'all hit like, subscribe. Make sure y'all always rock with us every Monday. Follow us on our social media sites. We're on TikTok, we're on IG, we're on Twitch, we are on Facebook, and I'm missing something else. I think that's it.
Twitch.
Yeah,
Said Twitch.
Yeah, something like that. What else you got for him, Jim?
Type shit. Man, nothing. Just enjoy these games. Stop betting. And if you got a significant other, a wife, husband, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, stick with them. These side pieces don't need nothing. Like, hey, don't be a AJ Brown. Don't be a Mike Vrabel. Just do your thing. Love your people. It's not worth it. You gonna go off the deep end.
Hey, you is out of control.
Hey.
Hey, we will be back like some shoulder blades on the next episode. We will catch y'all, man.